back, everyone, to another episode of the Daily V.E.N.T podcast right here on First Fam Radio Digital Networks. I'm your host, First Fam Chill, and today we're diving deep into a topic that's both fascinating and I'm gonna be honest, a little controversial. Today we're discussing the dating world versus the courting world. Now, I know many of you out there are navigating the waters of relationships, and you might be wondering, are we truly dating or are we courting? Is there a real difference between the two? Are we using these terms correctly, or have they become interchangeable in our modern world? Can't wait to get into this. So if you're just now tuning in here with your boy First Fam Chill, the dating world versus the courting world. Are we using the terms correctly in choosing our partners? What are we talking about when we say we're dating? And what are we talking about when we say we are courting? For those that's just tuning in, I greatly appreciate you joining me. To kick things off, let's define what we mean by dating and courting. Dating, as many of us know, is often seen as a casual engagement. I know I look at it as that, where you're getting to know someone, exploring chemistry, and having fun. It's often about convenience, being spontaneous, and let's be real, sometimes just about having a good time. On the flip side, courting is traditionally viewed as a more serious approach, is often associated with the intention of marriage or a long-term commitment. Courting is about building foundation, understanding each other's values, goals, and seeing if you're truly compatible for the long haul. So, getting right back to it, let me just go ahead and I got my coffee and my 420 right here, and I'm about to get started. So, are we doing it wrong? Are we mixing these two concepts up? To help us navigate this discussion, I want to hear from you, our listeners. So if you have any thoughts on dating versus courting, or if you've had experiences that highlight the differences, I want you to call in and share that, please. You know what I mean? I see we got someone trying to join right here. Where you calling from?
Calling from the East Coast with it. Essex County. Let's go.
What's your opinions on it, bro?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like an old soul kind of guy. So like when it comes to courting, it's dead. Nobody's courting at all nowadays. A lot of majority relationships today, modern engagements are pretty much, dating. They just hook up culture. We schedule a time we get together. Majority of the time, it's always in a place where there's liquor involved. You just try to, get that I guess that vibe going or whatever,
Yeah.
and then boom, you're shotgun into either marriage, a court case, or a threesome, or your new sexual orientation. It's ridiculous what's going on out here. Um, to just further elaborate, courting is like how it used to be. Well, that's how I perceive it to be. Um, your whole, I mean, your whole community is involved in your whole situation. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like you posting her, you know what I mean, on your social
Yeah,
media, you know what
like
I'm
your
saying? You showing
family,
off.
right? So like in modern days today, it's you're posting, you're engaging with your friend list and things like that. But all that is sucker shit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
if I go a little bit further, it's like yo, you bringing hey, yeah, if you got your family involved, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
you bring it up to your family, you try to engage with their
Yeah.
family, because the family gonna tell you it's like they resume or whatever. But
Facts.
that's not what it is today. They wanna, oh, can't meet my mama, or it's always some type of like you're hard in the situation, you know what I mean? Because your family gonna tell the truth about you. And
Yeah,
then
facts.
you're gonna get embarrassed. So,
Facts.
so just I'll just end off where, yeah, courting is dead. And it's completely hookup culture going on that's controlling
That's
the
a great
modern
point.
dating world today.
That's a great point, man. It sounds like like courting brought a different level of attention, and the changes that, like you said, is hookup culture. That's what dating became. It's like, let's hook up, let's get together. What you doing? Go, what I'm saying, go get some weed, go get some,
Hmm.
drinks, get the vibe going. Or a lot of people just like overlook right now. You know what I mean? So I'm with you when you say hookup culture. The important facts is, what I mean, what we need to be asking some of these females, like, what is your goal in a relationship? Are you looking for something casual? Are you hoping to build a future with someone? They need to understand their own intentions. Fellas too, us too. And that can help us decide whether to date or court the chick. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, like if you just see somebody that you're attracted to, you like, let's go out. You know what I mean? Let's go to a movie or something. But the one that you want to court is like, you know, I don't know how cats is approaching courting these days, or how women expect to be courted when they do everything they so. I'm just saying. But communication is key, man. Whether you dating or courting and being upfront, it's better to be just real with your partner up front. No one wants to be misled or had a time wasted.
Hmm.
So I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? I see we had a few females that was in the listeners queue, but you know what I mean. Y'all come back, don't run, cause we get into the good shit. You know what I mean? Y'all know we was gonna have this discussion today, because every female out there that want to go on a date, you know what it is, and the ones that want to be courted, you know what it is. You know what I mean? You got to put up too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be courted unless you kicking out some bread on the fella. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want a chick that, you know what I'm saying, that's not reciprocating.
I think it's a lot of improper engagements going on. So like inappropriate, you know what I mean? Like just like I was saying, because like I said, courting thing is dead, right? But like
Yeah,
when a guy may, let's say, um, offer to take her out on a date, and
yeah,
he's paying, and he either pays for whatever. Now the thing is, um, a lot of times guys I mean, you're not paying attention to it. You know what I mean? But if you do, you hear what the hell it is that she's saying, and clearly you're gonna be able to, step away from that, move on, or whatever. But guys get locked in because they feel as though they paid for it, so now they're owed something, or you know what I mean. And I'm speaking this specifically on the men's point,
facts,
and that's where it's like, it may seem corny, but that's why it's a lot of times like you used to hear, oh, I like to walk on the beach and just, do something without any type of monetary involvement because a
facts,
conversation is a great way to communicate and connect, right? That's how we're gonna start off to engage, get to know each other, right? I don't want to see. I want you to talk to me, tell me, display your intellect. Let me see if you are able to take accountability and things like that. I don't want to see the display of your bullshit firsthand.
yeah, facts, facts. We got two messages in the queue. And we gonna add you to the panel, cornbread. So hold tight.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I'll know. I'll know if you don't watch it. But no pressure. But you should watch it though. Hey, I just wanted to make sure you got the message I sent you. Just make sure you watch it.
Yeah. So yeah, we trying to understand what you mean, bro.
Oh, you didn't watch it? No, watch the link I sent you, and then tell me.
What's your thoughts on the dating world versus courting?
Meaning.
All right, I'm trying to rock with you, bro, but you kind of fucked me up. So I'm gonna move on to the next caller. Um, Getting back to what we was having this discussion on the dating world versus courting. and we had some great points that was you know what I mean, just mentioned in our conversation with the brother that just left. Um, but that was a powerful statement too that he was saying, you know, like where you can go out, spend no money, just stuff where I can get into your mind. You can, you know what I mean, you can get into mine. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm trying to find out um, if we're going to make a profound connection or not. You know what I mean? Um, let's take another call. If you on the Daily Vent, man, if you got some messages you want to send to us, or you know, what's your name and your take on this topic, feel free to. Just giving everybody a little second to come on up in here, man. Like I said, what we were doing was discussing the dating world versus courting. Um, we got a message right here from Mike. Mike says, I see dating and courting as two sides of the same coin. It's all about progression. You date to see if you want to court, and you court to see if you want to commit. I love that perspective, Mike. So do you think that our society places too much emphasis on casual dating and not enough on courting? And this is coming from my other platform right here, y'all. I'm getting messages in here um, from Mike, and Mike says definitely we're so focused on instant gratification that we forget the beauty of taking our time to build something meaningful. People need to remember that courting can be just as enjoyable as dating, just with a different end goal. I'm gonna have to say, well said, Mr. Mike. And I think you're spot on with that. There's something beautiful about taking the time to really know someone and build a foundation for a future together. You know what I mean? So that's real. I like that from you, Mike. Anybody that's you know, just now tuning in, you catching the tail end of this. We're talking about the dating world versus the courting world. Um, your thoughts? Are we using it correctly when we say we want to date someone? And what does dating entail? And courting versus courting. What does courting entail? You know what I mean? Are we confusing the two words when we ask for certain things and getting to meet, you know, someone new? Hey, I see we just got Honey 98. Is this Honey 98?
Yes, it is. Hi.
What's up with you? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. Thanks for asking. And let everybody know where you calling from, honey.
I'm from Dayton, Ohio.
Oh yeah, Ohio in the building. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Shout out to Ohio. You know what I mean? Now I don't know if you just how much of which the show you just caught.
I heard the tail end, like you said.
Okay. Um. So just I'm gonna just go back a little bit. You know what I mean? Like like I told y'all, it's the Daily Vent. You know, this podcast. We're talking about the dating world versus the courting world. Um.
Okay.
Many relationships uh are, you know, people is looking to become, you know, somebody's significant other eventually, right? Um.
Yeah,
So I'm asking everyone the question: are we truly dating or are we courting? Is there a real difference between the two? Are
there
we
is a
using it?
difference.
Are we using it correctly, or have they become interchangeable in the modern world? So, you know, like if I was to try to get to know you right now, and I'm
Yeah.
saying like, hey, what you doing tomorrow? And you tell me, nothing. You know, so I say, you want to go for a walk? Am I asking you on a date, or am I courting you at that moment?
That's a difficult one. I think it would be more courting is like courting is somebody being together, ain't it?
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's the goal. That's the main goal.
Yeah, so I would say that's dating. That's more like dating. There's a big difference between the two. Because courting is when you're in a relationship, you're courting somebody. Like, that's like going, let's say you're in prom, I'm courting, you feel me, somebody to prom, you know, or he's courting me, you know what I mean? So I would say that's your person, but you're taking time. People don't really date nowadays for marriage.
No.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or for
Yeah.
relationship. It's
So if I
always
ask,
a, go ahead, I'm sorry.
oh no, no, go ahead, go ahead. I don't want you to lose that point.
So it's like people don't date like that nowadays. People are dating for personal gain sometimes, inner issues, egos, insecurities. Some people are not willing to date, or they're taking it too fast, or you know what I mean? So they don't really take time out, like you said, to actually get to know the person, you know, in order for that. Because the main point is to court somebody, because at the end of the day, you know, you guys have each other, you know, and build a stability for your family, if you even choose to even have one, you know what I mean, with that person, because you
Yeah,
want that person. Because at the end of the day, you know, people don't stay on this earth for very long, you know what I mean? So, you know,
definitely,
sometimes there's most people, some people only got themselves and ain't got family no more. So, you know, you want that other person sometimes, you know, to
definitely.
struggle with, to gain with, you know, you feel me, lose together, rebuild back up together, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
but
So,
it's
so let me
different.
ask you: are we doing it wrong? Are we mixing these two concepts up, like to help us navigate this discussion? I mean, I want to hear like people's thoughts. If you have thoughts on dating versus courting, or if you had experiences that highlight the differences, like I want to hear that. You know what I mean?
Um,
I think
okay. I have, well, so currently I'm in a relationship right now. So he's courting me and I court him. We are actually engaged right now. You feel me? So um we're engaged right now. So when we first met each other, I think we was supposed to be dating. You know, you take somebody out on a little date. So
yeah.
it ended up 15 years. If you get the
Oh
gist.
wow!
Yeah, so right now
Congratulations.
we're engaged. Thank you. So right now we're engaged, but like everybody, like when we tell people about when we're getting engaged, they're like,
Yeah,
why are you waiting so long? Because, you know, we want to do it the right way. We had a child together, you know what I mean? But we still need to get to know each other. So I told him, hey, let's get married 3 years out to make sure, you know what I mean? So we're basically courting each other right now. We're still getting to know each other. We learn, we grow, we struggle. You feel me? We
yeah,
didn't really have time to date, because you have situations like that too when you really don't have time to date, you know. But you can make a choice if it does work out. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're courting each other. So
yeah. And I just want to consider. Um, I want us to consider some important facts. Like first, with that, like, what are people? What are the goals in a relationship? Are you
uh,
looking for something casual? Are you hoping to build a future with someone? Understanding your own intentions, could you help decide whether to date or court? You know what I mean?
yeah.
You know what I mean? I think understanding your own intentions, I'm saying like that, if you know what you want, you like, well, I just want to have fun and I just want to meet people, then I'm going to go the dating route where I don't really want nothing serious. I just want to socialize. I want to go out, eat a couple chicken fingers, have some drinks, and see where things go, wherever the chips land.
Yeah, some people do go with the flow. I mean, I can understand that. So I think the main goal, if you're dating, let's go ahead and split them up into first dating. I think the main goal with that is getting to know the person, because you never know who you can be dating. You can be dating somebody crazy, or
Yeah.
somebody might be catfishing you. So, on the last one we were talking about catfish. Um, so it's more like your goal is to get to know this person and go with the flow of it. If they're consistent or if they're not consistent, talking to you, what they talk about, catching their topics of what they talk about. Is it interesting? Is it irrelevant? It's not your kind of lingo, you know. I think that's more of the dating thing, is trying to get to know somebody, what their flaws is. Are you willing to accept their flaws? That's the biggest thing,
Absolutely.
because in a
Absolutely.
relationship you have to respect that person, because you accept, once you start courting somebody, let's go ahead and go to courting. When you start courting somebody, you have to understand you accepted that person for their flaws, and you can't. And people have a tendency of trying to change a person because they didn't like what they saw the first time, so they tried. Some people go in a relationship courting people, try to change people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't really change that person and who they are. You already knew who that person was when you first dated them, so why try to change them? I understand you're trying to better somebody, but if it's something that they do, and that's just them, don't try to change them. So your main goal is really, I think that's the really main goal is, are you willing to accept this person's flaws, because you guys are going to grow together. If not, you need to go ahead and move on to the next. So, yeah.
Definitely. We had a caller that called in earlier, right? And
Hmm.
he was saying like, uh sometimes you could, if you meet somebody, you wanted to take them out on a date. Sometimes you might just want to go for a walk. You don't really want to spend any funds because you're not sure if you really want to be there with this person. You know what I mean? Like, on that aspect, but you do want to take the time to like get to know them and see what it's hitting for. So he said, it's good to meet up, like to see if the person would enjoy going for a walk. Something that doesn't cause you know e- each other to be like, hey, you know what I mean? Like I'm spending all this money on this date and I'm not even going to be in a relationship with this person. You know what I mean? So and also like myself, you know what I mean? I've done this plenty of times. It's like I'll offer to meet somebody just as a meet and greet. Like it could be a public place, a library, or a museum or something like that, or just if they comfortable with it, just meeting up in general. Um, but I feel like if I'm taking you out to like Roof Chris or anything else, like that got to be courting stuff. Like I got to be in a relationship with you and know that we have a some time, what I mean, that's going to be together, what I mean, like we're not
Yeah.
just dating the first 50 dates, what I mean, all I did was just we went out to eat. I really didn't get to know you. um we just been in the public just doing stuff, playing miniature golf. I still don't get to know you, but we barely been on a walk, like just where it wasn't no money, no nothing, just to clear our head and talk. And i
Yeah.
think I think when you got someone like that, that's where you get to really understand, like, if you want to deal with the person or not, like, like this, the intellect,
It's
what I
all
mean, you get
about the conversation and topic at hand when it comes to the dating scene. It's all
definitely,
about, yeah, like what do they talk about? Is it going to be interesting? Is it going to be relevant? Some people like to talk about, I don't know, video games. Other people like to talk about what's going on in life right now, the politics. So it depends on what people's talk, and you'll start to see how people act towards other people's, like in a public area, because you got to deal with people
definitely,
everywhere. So, like, let's say somebody's doing something disrespectful. How are you going to react? That's what I was like when I was dating. That's what I was looking for. How are they going to react if a man comes up to me and disrespects him? You know what I mean? Like, you know how men be trying. Sometimes they don't care about who you with and they still hit on your girl. Like, how you going to react to that? Are you just going to go full fledged, or are you going to handle that, in a classy manner, because you in the public area, depending on how, it gets, depending on
definitely.
how high level gets from that. But other than that, yeah, I mean, people just got to start. I don't know. It's difficult to tell because a lot of nowadays, like rap music with females, a lot of a lot of things today has changed more than back in the day. Courting back in the day, you had to ask the parents.
Right.
Like
Facts.
totally
Yeah,
different now.
I mean, I will go even, I'm gonna go further back, like even if this was slavery, right,
Yeah,
you know and we had to date or court, and
right.
y'all don't have that much time to do anything, right, on
Yep.
a plantation. How would that work out? I mean, I wonder how our ancestors
Right.
did it. That had to be love. Like you had to really be a ride or
That's
die back
true. Sacrifices.
then. Yeah, like, and there's a lot of folks out there that's running from that. Um,
Yeah.
I really do think that like getting to know somebody and spending time with the person is more important. than just the glamour of just going out. Because you should I think that the going out and eating trips and all that stuff is relationship stuff. That's the rewards for being in a long-term relationship. Y'all get to share and build those kind of moments together,
Moment.
memories.
Yep.
Yeah, but when you dating, it's like, all right, I'm not even sure if I want to be here, but she seemed cool. I like her energy and her vibe. Let's go. We got a call right here from Aquarius.
Hello, panel. Hello, panel. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Yes. Well, back in the day, I don't think dating was even a word. So it was essentially courting, and courting usually meant like you're pretty much ready to get married to that person. You know, like that's what I want to do. So, dating didn't really come around to, some decades later. So now it's dating and courting. But when we say dating, it's kind of like, okay, I'm still on the level of I'm single, right? But when it
Mhm.
comes to courting, it's kind of like, okay, I know I want to be married now. I'm going to do this, da 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 da. I'm going to do that because this is the person that I want to essentially be with.
Agreed. Agreed. Is this another message from Aquarius in here?
Mhm.
And yes, I'm gonna go with what Honey 98 said. Yeah, because I remember the early 2000s, and you know, men would have to ask the parents. Like you had to bring whoever was dating you. Like hey, you got to introduce them to your parents because your parents sometimes have some of the
Facts.
very good advice. And yeah, it was just like that. That's just a thing.
Facts.
You got to bring your boyfriend to your parents and let your parents kind of size them up like burr, 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 burr.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that right there.
yeah, I was scared to bring him home to my parents because I didn't
Yeah.
really know him, So it was kind of like back in the day, like I had to bring him home to my parents, even though like we don't. It was supposed to be that I was one night. It
Yeah.
turned
I,
10
I, I
years.
gotta say, Aquarius, that's powerful. It really
Very
emphasizes
powerful.
that courting could lead to a more profound connection like that. Thanks for sharing that. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot right there. You know what I mean? Let them size
Mhm.
them up. You know,
Yeah.
and to the people that don't have parents, like your parents may be deceased out there. You know what I mean? I don't know, but go to somebody's salad. You know what I mean? Me personally, I would say like your OGs, your old heads. You
Yeah.
know,
Aunties, uncles, people that
the
love you. You know
yeah,
what I
the
mean?
ones that you can model, like what I mean, a relationship after, in a sense of the way they carry themselves in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's dope right there. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for that, Aquarius.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I just want to I don't want to wrap it up. It seems like we call I got on a little late today, but I just want to emphasize whether people choose to date or court. The thing that matters the most is the intention behind your actions,
It sure
and are
is.
you clear about it? Be clear about what you want. Are you communicating openly with the person? And seriously, y'all, you know what I mean? Like, we got to start paying attention to that. If someone makes you feel like y'all can go the long run together, you know, are you willing to run that marathon with them? Because after, I'm gonna be honest, you can go on a date, right? You be like, nah. Like it can be, it might not even be nothing wrong. Y'all enjoyed the meal, y'all had a few laughs and everything, but then when you really think about it, it's like, nah,
But are people
I don't.
really courting to date though
What's
nowadays?
that?
I said, are people really courting to date nowadays though?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it
Like
used to
people.
be, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, like folks is really just to the date. Like they be like, you gotta date me, you gotta take me out, wine and dine me, right? But I should only
Yeah,
have to do that. I should only have to do that if you're gonna be my woman.
facts. That's
You know what I
big fact.
mean?
I feel as if, I mean, yeah, the first date is cool, but you really don't have to do nothing. I rather would take a walk though. Take a walk to
Yeah,
get to know somebody, and then you guys just walking, looking at the water. You feel me? That's a date. Maybe even grabbing a
yeah,
little food afterwards if it goes further than that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
If it
Talking like,
don't, it's
cause
like it would probably be like if it didn't last. Let's say somebody was dating or I was dating. If it didn't last, I would be like, okay, thank you. I enjoyed the walk. Hopefully we talk soon. You know what I mean? But if it
yeah,
goes to the next level, let's go to a restaurant. Da da da. Let's talk some more
yeah,
there. You know what I mean?
I, yeah. I've heard, a lot of fellas say, I'm like, hey, I mean, I went out with this woman. She wanted to, she wanted to go out to eat, or she wanted to, go do something. She wanted to be entertained. So the guy that I was talking to, he's like, yeah, well, I'm trying to get to know you. So if I'm taking you around entertainment, how am I really getting to know you? And I'm only getting to see that side of you. You know what I mean? I want to see the side without none of this aesthetic around. How we mesh. Like, could I be around you just in, like you said, on a walk, or what I mean, like, like a library or something. I don't know, like museums. Like some people, because we actually get to talk. If you go to a movie theater, 9 times out of 10, somebody's gonna fall asleep, or you can't really talk too much. You can't really talk at the movies. So it's like, we're just gonna eat popcorn and be like, point at the screen, or
I'm done. But yeah,
yeah,
I
like
mean,
all of that.
I mean, if you look at it, why are we asking? I mean, it's cool to ask a woman what you want to go out to eat. That's like asking a woman where you want to go out to eat, or like, how do I explain it more better? Why do men ask women where they want to go? Me personally, my opinion, I'd rather see what kind of date they're going to plan. If it's our first date, is he going to take me on a walk? Is he going to take me to a restaurant? Is he taking me mini golf? Like, I want to know what he has planned. You know what I mean? It shows leadership. That's
Now
just me.
that they definitely do, but I think that only should exist in the courting phase. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because that's relationship shit. Like I shouldn't have to, what I mean, like plan for
yeah.
you at that. You know what I mean? If you're my lady, then it requires me to plan for you. You know what I mean? But if I'm just now
So would it be a
meeting you,
mutual place that they would meet at? Like, hey, let's go here. Or a woman tells them
yeah, that's when she could do all of that. Like
after that. I'm sorry. My bad. My phone was ringing.
no,
That should
now
be a man's decision about if he wants
yeah,
to take
so
her to that place too at that point.
yeah.
If it's too
What I mean,
expensive, I'm
when you
not taking
courting at the time that you courting,
it.
that's when y'all can make requests, or it could be
Okay.
planned. But like if I'm saying to you, my lady, and you told me your favorite things, and I'm
Mhm.
picking up on that, I'm showing you, like, I know your favorite things, then
Yeah.
yes. But when they say plan something, like, we could plan something and it might not be what today's culture, it might not be what she wants to do. Or she might have thought she liked it, and the soup could have been bad at this one restaurant that she, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then guess who fails at planning at that point? Like, well, you picked that restaurant right there. I don't like none of the restaurants you picked. And is she wrong for saying that? Nah, but that's courting.
Yeah.
Now the pros and cons of courting is, all right, now I know what she don't like, and she know what I don't like. So what we gonna do about it in the long run, in the final chapter? You know what I mean? Because we saying we getting married and all this. That mean we
Yeah.
could put up with the dislikes and don't likes. And dating, you could be like, check, please.
Okay, say check, please.
We got a message in the queue for Nene.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm Nay,
Happy
just coming through,
Tuesday.
showing y'all some love. But
Good morning.
okay, we have the dating word versus the courting word. In my personal opinion, from my personal experiences, I say dating would be like experience Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm Nay. Just coming through showing y'all some love on this beautiful day. Well, it's not beautiful on my end. It's a little cloudy on my side of town. But just spreading a little love or whatever. But dating world versus courting world. I believe that dating world is like you casually getting to know someone. So you could have like a little bit spontaneity in it, a little adventure, a little bit like just very casual, going for walks, things like that. The courting world, I believe, is like you're trying to make an impression on somebody. Like you pulling out all the best stops and extravagant places to visit, the best dinners, things like that. Yo, I apologize. I don't know why my messages is going like back to back. If it's like repeating or it sounds the same, similar to each other, like I'm just making sure like the messages got sent. So I apologize if the messages is like back to back. Like my bad.
It's all good, you know what I mean. But
You're good.
I like what she just said.
Most definitely, I agree.
It is a hard thing out here. Like even like when it comes down to like the trips, you know what I mean. Like I feel like it's I'm hearing this term called being passport ready. Like you know what I mean. Like from the jump. Like what if like I'm passport ready, but I don't know if I'm passport ready to go fuck with somebody in another country I ain't never met before, and I'm trying to get to
Right,
know. And she's sexy and she got a bikini on. Like it's gonna be 1,000 other men where we going at that I gotta compete with, even though I'm passport ready. You know what I mean? It's like, all
right.
right, she didn't inform me if we were sleeping in the same hotel room. Am I paying for my food or because yeah, if I'm passport ready, I go there and I got my own everything and you got your own everything. Why would you want to be on the trip with me? Like, why would you want to bring sand to the beach?
Right. They gotta
So
be a
that yeah, that makes no sense to me when they say that. It's like, all right, well, she's clearly dating. She don't care who. If you got a passport, come on.
yeah,
You know, and ain't nothing wrong with that if that's how y'all living out there. But if you're looking for something in the long run, that can't be courting right there, right off the bat. Like,
yeah,
I do relationship shit. You know what I mean? I don't do you know what I mean? Like I'm a relationship guy. Like I do relationship type dates.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I'm with you, we doing date nights. You know what I mean? Where it's like, all right, I'm courting her and we doing date nights. Date nights is, you know what I mean, where we both arrange something to do. That's like movie night on the couch. You know what I mean? We arranged that. You know what I mean? We
Popcorn.
go yeah, we got date night.
So do y'all think that dating could be hanging out with multiple different people,
Mm.
and then courting is like you're dating just one person, but it's a continuous like impression you're trying to make?
It's definitely a difference. I would say dating is definitely what you just said, and courting somebody is all right. Y'all went past the dating. Like the first time y'all met, y'all was really putting in time together. Like this is who I spend time with. Although I'm dating, I'm spending time with this one because I really want to get to know him. But keeping my options open by dating, and we both understand that.
Yeah.
What you think, honey? Like on what she just said.
Um, I feel like dating is like she said, getting to know somebody. Really to like I said earlier, to accept if you're seeing if you're willing to accept their flaws or not, and if that moment is willing to go to the next level. And that's courting. So it's like he was saying, like, I don't want to take a girl all the way out to um the Bahamas and I'm just sitting there dating them. We just get to know passport ready, like he said. Like, all honesty, I think it's kind of backwards today. So
Yeah, they doing shit backwards as hell. Like what I mean, they might, y'all might meet
I thought the
meet up
elephant
at
was in the room. You feel me? I just want to say
yeah.
it's
Man,
backwards.
it's people out
2025.
there fucking on the first
So
night and
backwards.
not liking each other a month later. You know what I
I
mean?
do. Like it used. My grandma told me a long time ago. She said, "Yeah, me and your granddaddy, our date was going to Burger King." I said, "Burger King." I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah, Burger King was a big thing back in the day." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
That was the shit back in the day. That was like Ruth Chris at the time. Like, hey, you went to the Burger King, and
Yeah,
that's where they went.
you feel me?
Yeah, I mean, you seen Back to the Future? You know what I mean? They hung
Right,
out at the diner. They,
right.
I agree. Like I believe that when people first meet each other, they instantly got this like entitlement of like, okay, we just started talking, you can't talk to anybody else. I think that's crazy to me. Like, sir, ma'am, I just met you. I don't even know your last name already. Like, let alone like,
Girl, I done
yeah,
heard it.
yeah, this day and age is like they got it ass backwards. Like, ma'am, sir, we barely know each other's last name, and you already put this sense of entitlement of like you not dealing with nobody else but me. But turn around, you dealing with multiple people behind me, but
Okay,
you trying to control who I'm dealing with. Like, come on, baby, like make it make sense. Make it make sense.
girl.
yeah, facts. Yeah, that's crazy, and that's what's out here. I mean, and you know what's crazy? This what I feel like fuels it is that it's a lot of people out there, right? That they pay attention to like this TV shit and the top this and the top that defines who you are and what your relationship with somebody is going to be. And I'm gonna be
Music.
honest, like yo, you got to test with you got to like it's a test, like you know what I'm saying, because you got to if you with somebody who can't be with you through your struggles, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
then you know you better run. You know what I'm saying, because
Literally.
like they're heartless, they'll leave you for dead. You know what I mean? That's why it's important to really, you know what I mean, in the dating world, you know what I mean, differentiate the two. You know what I mean? Like you said, you got the one that you're courting and y'all sharing, you know what I mean, intimate moments and conversations that you're not sharing on a date, you know what I mean, with just, Joe Schmo. Uh, Message from Dr. Karma.
What's happening, y'all? How y'all doing? Um, Nene, what's happening? Happy Taco Tuesday. You know what's happening, Melanated Edition? I was thinking about this the other day. I think Saturday. People always talking about dating. What is dating? Dating and courting world. I mean, it's one and the same, but I think how people or what people want from dating has it a little bit clouded. It has murkied the water because when people talk about dating with a purpose, you don't give time to grow. It's like, I want this, and if you're not doing this, then I don't want to do it. When a motherfucker say, yeah, I'll do it, and then you find out it ain't what you want, then what? People don't give time for shit to grow. Give time for it to grow.
Facts. I'm with you on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, if you got somebody that you're talking to, like that you're courting, that you've been out with a few times, versus dating to see what's out. Like you might be on Black People Meet some shit. You know what I mean? And you meeting somebody, and you realizing like, you know what? I'd rather stick with what I know already, right? That seemed to be going somewhere. I just wanted to see if I just want to check all my boxes, like you know what I'm
You feel
saying. But
me?
but for
I
for what you for what you like, you know what I'm saying. It's a lot of entitlement out there. Like they said it's like, oh, you gotta date me, right? And so if you ask them what the intentions with the date is, they can't tell you. They just you got a plan for me. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Like I got so basically you tell me like I should think for you and everything, but when I think for you and I give you an answer, it's not what you want it to be. So what do you want this to be? And a lot of them is
Right.
and they're running around. And if you don't think what I'm saying is real, look at TV, right? And every female rapper that you see on there is
Okay.
not come. Hey, listen, they not dating. I
They
mean, they not
not.
courting. They not courting. They listen. They got ski masks on with bags and BBLs.
Yeah. Thanks.
They not cooking for nobody. There ain't no home cook man. Ain't no romantic shit about Glorilla doing nothing for me. You know what I mean? She talking about bailing niggas out of jail.
I ain't one
Mm,
of them type niggas. I'm just saying, you know.
me neither. I ain't one of them type of women.
Yeah, you know, Megan Thee
I
Stallion. She
mean,
ain't
it
say
does.
she's.
Hey,
Yeah,
they be bopping, but the words to it, that's what makes it so backwards. Because I
yeah.
don't know, like it's so backwards. It's like it's okay to be independent. We already got the independence, but when you gonna let somebody lead you? You feel me? Just for a moment in time. You feel me? Y'all lead together. You feel me? Like court together. You like it should, like I said, it should be a,
I'm gonna
give
just
and
say
take.
this. Yeah, kings and queens rule together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's
Mhm.
that's just facts. You know what I mean? She
Yep.
can't. Yeah, it's called a kingdom, right? When you got a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's women out there who
It
got
is a
their own
kingdom.
homes and stuff, right? They got their own everything, right? But
Yeah.
it's at that moment it's called a queendom.
Hey.
And the only
Okay.
people, it's not the type of king you looking for. He ain't gonna
Mhm.
come live in a queendom.
Nope.
You know what I mean? It could
Yeah.
be a kingdom and we can rule together. But if I don't have that, you know what I mean, right now, like it's a lot of kings who don't have that, and the queen is on the chessboard. Y'all know her duty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and that's a lot of difference between like I was saying before, dating and courting. Like dating, you just trying to get to know somebody. Courting, it's like, hey, I want you to be mine. That's when you really get serious, like when the wedding. You know what I'm saying? But while you dating, if you not if you don't want to be with that person, you gotta let them know. That way they can deal with it. Like you dating and you like, I just want somebody to go out to eat with. Hey, we can da da da. You know what I'm saying? Might have a little night together. You let them know that. But if you dating somebody and they want a courtship, like they want to be with you, that's what. Like you gotta let people know up front, for real. That's wild.
Yeah, for real. We got another one from Nene.
Yes, I don't care what none of these podcasts, these television shows, these reality shows, music, influencers, whatever you want to call it nowadays. Like men need women and women need men.
Facts. Aquarius.
When you feel like, okay, this is what I want, male or female, when you feel like that's what you want, you want to be with that person, ain't no more games, ain't no more playing, you are in complete courtship. You're in courtship. And uh you let your partner know, like, listen, I feel like I just want to be with you, what you feel. Like, and then da 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 da. You go from there. But if you dating, you got to let them know up front too, like, I ain't ready for all that. You gotta let people know. It's so simple just to tell people the truth than to lie. And everybody know a lie don't give a damn who tell it.
Don't give a damn who tell you. You ain't lying either. You know what I mean? Yeah, this day and age right now, man, is sad because even for the people like I've seen stuff on like Instagram and TikTok where it be people meeting people online and both of them damage people and it become more toxic and because the entitlement and the things that you really want, what I mean, you ain't saying, and then you going on there and being a representative, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's fucking shit up out here, you know what I mean? Becoming representatives and, like, why is it so hard for people to be themselves? And then if you really want to build something with somebody, you know what I mean, build it. You know what I mean? But, and it's not a lot of people that match up right. Melanated.
Oh, dating world versus courting world. There's a vast difference now. Dating world, you're just together. Y'all just spending time, spinning wheels. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes you're not there to be court nobody. You just, you just want someone to fill in a block of time. And that's okay. But I agree with everyone. Let people know where they stand, because you may be like, I just need to stand in. I need to fill in for this point in time. And this person may be feeling like, oh, well, this is it for us. We are courting. We're spending a lot of time together. So, yeah, I agree with everyone to just let people know where they stand. And what's up, the Karma? How are you?
Devon.
Peace to the panel. Dating world versus courting world. The dating world to me is a woman's game. That's a woman's empowerment. And the reason why I say that is because with dating, it requires the male to be the one showing interest first in the pursuit, which empowers the woman to be the final decision maker. It puts the man in an emotional state of having to look for something in return, meaning that he has to give first. It's not like she's checking for him first. He has to put forth the interest to get the validation. And who knows how long it would take for him to get the level of validation that he wants from her, whether that's spend time with her, even if it's to sleep with her, even if it's to show her that he's a protector or that he can provide. He doesn't know what her standard of what that looks like for her unless
You got to come back with that one, Priest, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to let you finish it.
she can withhold that for as long as she wants, until, like the lady said, until she feels like she's feeling him. But how long does that take? How long does, when you're pursuing something, the person that is the reciprocator can play off of your emotional strings until they get tired. In your mind, being the pursuer, you think you're actually winning, but the person that's the receiving, they already know the limitation of how far they're going to go with you. They already know. The thing is, they're not as hurt as you are if they decide to call it quits, because the whole time they've been gaining, they've been benefiting. The person that's pursuing, showing the interest first, is at a loss because they have to constantly throw something out to see if they're going to get some reciprocation. They got to constantly keep throwing out. So they're always looking for something in return, which causes them to be emotional. So at the end of the day, she gains and the person loses. That's why a woman can date multiple guys, because all of them are pursuing moving.
Divine Priest, man. Good shit, man. Dr. Corman, man. We got a bunch of messages, so I want to get through them real fast.
This dating, we're hanging out, we're chilling. Things start to progress to an extent if you're intimate, have sex, fuck, whatever you want to call it. But even then, just because you have sex, a lot of people use that as an anchor for a relationship. That is not going to, so-called relationship, isn't going to be your actual security blanket. I'm sorry, Linus, that ain't what's happening. You have to get to the mental point of some type of commitment, to the extent that if y'all need something, y'all are there for each other. Y'all are doing these things for each other, and everybody don't do the same thing for everybody. So when I come and get you or come and put gas in your car, I ain't doing that for everybody. Pay attention. And this woman's empowerment, I'm sorry, dog. You make good points at times, so don't think I'm hitting your head. But this woman empowerment shit, I ain't even with that. We have our places in the dynamic. And if a man is expecting to do this, that, or the other, to get this, that, or the other from a female, you might want to grow a little more. If, just like men don't do certain things because of what somebody else did, that ain't how that works. Yes, ma'am. I do believe that in our current culture, not to mention financial climate, there are still a lot of people that are in the clouds. I'm going to say it. Okay, I'll put it this way. If I had a wife, I'm trying to take care of my wife. I don't necessarily want her to do nothing. But If I can't do all that with ease, I need a woman that's used to doing it, used to being responsible. That's when she comes into this, we identify that this is what we're doing. She's putting it into the pot. And even when she ain't got to put it into the pot, she's putting it into the pot. But it's so many women that's constantly taking and taking and taking. They think that a man's check is their extra money. Crazy. Yeah, I was leaving a message, but I'm going to say this. When I deal with a female, I'm not jumping through no hoops. I mean, I ain't trying to I'm not doing this to get some pussy. We have a mutual attraction. She should be trying to get some dick. So anything that I'm doing that counts my heart. And I don't care whether or not you put your socket thumbs in my hands or not. But I expect for you to, if I'm vibing with you like that, if we're vibing with each other. Men that do things, take women out, buy them gifts, just to be intimate with them, they're still stuck in the caveman time. Babe, I need you to be a woman. I need you to keep getting it and go get it. Be responsible, caring. If you ain't all that shit, man, we ain't gonna make it at all. Not pass, go.
So, you know, a lot of men be upset when a woman feels like she can date multiple people, but it's like a job. Everybody pursues the job, right? So the job has multiple employees, but the job is one person. See, like the leader, the reciprocator can lead many because everybody's initiating to follow to them. But the employee or the person that's following can't follow. You can't serve two masters. So that's why men be tripping, like how you could be dating multiple guys. How does a woman say that she could be dating multiple guys and it's perfectly fine? Because the guy's looking at it from the initiative principle. See, you can't only chase one. You can only got enough energy to keep pouring in and gambling off of one. You can't play 3 gambling machines. You got to dedicate and commit to one. You lose on that one, you got to go and take a chance on another. You lose on that, we got to take. So you can't but each machine got several people that's coming to it, and it's make a benefit off each one, because as soon as you get up, another one's right there. So the secret of the game is that women benefit off of the dating. Now, courting is a man's game, but there's not a lot of men that court, because in order for you to court a woman, she has to be the one pursuing you. Remember, you go to the court. You come to the court. So the court is a man that's in a position that's dealing with a woman who showed interest into him first, that's trying to earn her position in his life, that he is guiding, in a way, training, teaching her how to be an asset in his life by communicating what behaviors and traits he needs to see based off of when she's expressing through vulnerability what she wants to build with that man. Because a woman's not going to show interest into a man unless she wants to be with him. So it ain't waiting around to see if I feel you, when it, like it is on the opposite end when it's dating. When the woman is initiating to the man, it's automatically, I'm into you. It ain't no is there. That's why she's showing the interest first. You picked up on the signal, whether that's eye contact, body language, whether she's changed the way she dresses to try to get your attention, or she just bluntly just say it, or she just seems to just just get close enough, or always want to be in the vicinity where you are. Either way it go, you're going to pick up on those signals of her initiating. And when you pick up on it, whether you approach it or whether you validate it, that is you reciprocating to it, not initiating. So you're courting. So you're teaching her what it is that you need to see from her in order for you to give her access to what she already sees you in. See, the courting is a kinetic man already in the energy. Dating is a potential man, a man that a woman feels like she has to show him how to become a man, show him what's in him that he don't know. But a woman doesn't come like that to a man that's in kinetic energy already in it, because she can't teach him. She's there to learn in order to be of help and service, and then is blessed with benefits from.
Hey man, I fuck with you, man. What you think, honey?
Yeah, I feel him on that, but it's like on both sides. I feel like, yes, I agree with him, but also men do not know their intentions of most some women. Some women are money hungry. Some women have expectations that, you know, that
That's the
they
point he made
expect.
right there. He could,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you feel me?
That's
Like I feel like it's both ways too, though. But most women, they don't really, like you said. It's a more like the house, like you said. It's more like a wife. It's like she's like more in charge. Men really don't have a say so. I feel like men should have some kind of say so, so it can be a bonding of one united. So when they, you feel me, courting, they can understand the struggle together and understand one another. So I understand what he's saying. You feel me? When it comes to both sides, but you don't never know women's intentions sometimes. You feel me? And you don't know
hell
men's
no.
intentions sometimes because a lot of men be having multiple women they talk to too.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got a
I
message in
oh,
the.
go ahead. My bad. Go
Go no, go ahead. Before we go,
ahead.
we're just
Nah,
about to
for
say.
real. So I met somebody last night. We was just hanging out with a group of friends, and it was his friends, the person's house we came over. And he was like, "Nah, I'm not dating her. We just peoples, we just be having a fun time for a moment. We're not dating. I'll talk to this other girl too." Like, you feel me? Like, so I seen it on both sides. I seen it with females too, and that was just last night. You feel me? So
Yeah,
you feel me? So you just never know people's intentions. You feel me? But then he
word.
walked over there. He walked over to the other person's house that he was talking about. We're not together, and he was like, "Yeah, I had to go back over there because she was mad at me because I was hanging over here." Like, like what is it? Like, is you confused? Like, is you like? But he know what it is. But does she know what it is? You feel me? Like, so it goes both either
Word.
ways. It goes with that with women too. Women do the same thing. You feel me?
Facts. We gonna go to Grady Ray right here. You know what I mean? Q.
Hey, shout out to the room. Shout out to the listeners.
Peace.
Shout out to the
Hey.
panel. Um, the dating world versus the courting world. Honestly, they're supposed to be one and the same. You're supposed to learn each other and understand what
Mhm.
you both want in the relationship. If you want a submissive type of girl, go after a submissive type of girl. Don't try to create a submissive type of girl. If you want a guy that's wanting to spend money on you all the time, go after those type of guys that want to spend all the time. Don't try to change somebody into what you want them to be, because
Mhm.
in that situation, it'll always fail. Be
Mhm.
who you want to be and be with the person who wants to be with you.
Mhm.
Don't try to change.
Yeah, we got another message from the Divine Priest.
It's true, like what Honey said, it does go both ways. But saying both ways doesn't bring clarity. So let's bring clarity what we mean by both ways. When it comes to a situation where a man and a woman meets, it's only two ways it's going to happen. The majority, general way that it happens is usually the man is showing interest into the woman first that doesn't even know that he exists, and he's seeking validation and he's trying to see what it takes in order to be in her world. That puts her as the reciprocator and him as the initiator. That's why in those relationships she can say, "Hey, I was minding my business and he was the one trying to holler at me. I'm looking like, who this fool is trying to holler at me?" Or another way people express it, women would say it was mutual. The only reason she says it's mutual mean that at some point I decided that I'd give him a try. But it wasn't her pursuing him, it was him pursuing her. So that way. Then you have the opposite way, where the man is minding his business and the woman is the one that initiate interest into him. And they start off and
Mhm.
she's trying to earn her position in his life. So that's the real reality of what both ways is.
Fact,
Mhm.
facts.
Facts. I agree. Big facts.
It's real. You know what I mean? And look, man, I know we just came on. This shit right here was a dope topic. I appreciate everybody. Um, we got to do this again. I really want to do a part two, man. So if y'all available, y'all see me light up the screen on here. Um, Definitely, man. Tap in, man. I appreciate everybody's views, and I thank everybody for tuning into another episode of the Daily Vent podcast. Y'all can find me on First Fan Radio uh, online. You just Google it, search it.
I appreciate y'all. And remember, man, like, like be intentional, man. You know what I mean? I appreciate everybody, tapping in.